Assalamu alaikum. So fortunate and excited to have such inspiring ladies with me today. Iqra from Multan and Rozina from Empowering Women and Climate Change in Public Space. So thank you for your time and joining us today. Rozina and I have yet about climate change and public space. And this is our first online exhibition session with Iqra. So Rozina, would you like to add on before we pass the mic to Iqra?
Just to say thank you very much to Kaarvan Crafts Foundation and yourself for organising this. So it'd be an absolute pleasure to exchange with Iqra. So I'm really excited to chat and to know more about what Iqra does and about her journey as a young micro entrepreneur.
Assalamualaikum. This is me, Iqra Khan. I am from Multan. I am 23 years old. I did my master from BZU. I was started my business last 2 years ago. I was influenced by my mother and my aunt. They are really hardworking women. So I decided, why not I engage both of them and start our business. So we start our small business, and this is all mine collection. You can see that. So
wonderful, Iqra. Thank you for that introduction. Yeah, it would be amazing to know that how you really got into this. Is it that you were influenced by the female members that you mentioned? Were they also into garments and fashion, into sewing and designing their own clothes?
yes, they both are, and my sister and a lot of my relatives and my neighbors are with me. They are also sewing and designing clothes, like this kind of work. This is zari work.
That's wonderful. And you've actually designed this yourself. Do you draw it out first? What's your process in designing such a beautiful piece?
I design and I gave them to.
Yeah, we can really see all of these different ones that you've designed. And is that also embroidery, Iqra?
Yes, these are all embroideries. This is what I designed on myself.
That's beautiful. It's very intricate. And is this all done by hand?
Yeah.
Yes, this is all done by hand.
Yeah, you can share the process of how you do this. It's called adab work. So they put it on a stretched charpai, and like a group of women, so it's not Iqra alone, but she's furthering, empowering other women as well, who sit on this like wooden bench thing, and this cloth is like stretched, and it's like they stitch it with like beads. So it's a very intricate work, and it's like this is for like bridal wear mostly.
This is mainly bridal wear.
ये सारा अड्डे पे काम होता है. पहले इसको अड्डे पे लगाया जाता है, टांका जाता है. पहले तो इसका ट्रेस लगता है, ट्रेस करवाया जाता है. डिजाइन खुद करते हैं हम, इसको खुद डिजाइन किया जाता है कि हमने किस तरह से बनाना है. तो डिजाइन के बाद इसको अड्डे पे लगाते हैं. अड्डे पे टांकने का प्रोसेस भी ये होता है, उसको पहले धागों से टांका जाता है. अगर मतलब अभी अड्डा मेरे पास है, अगर होता तो मैं दिखा देती. तो मतलब उसको बिल्कुल ना यहाँ चार तरफ से होती है, एक टांग इस तरफ से, चारपाई की तरह ही होता है. तो उस कपड़े को साइडों से पहले, जैसे एक कमीज होती है, फ्रॉक है, तो साइडों से उसको टांका जाता है अच्छी तरह से. और लूज भी नहीं होना चाहिए, बिल्कुल फिट होना चाहिए, ताकि क्योंकि लूज अगर होगा तो वो चीज टेढ़ी हो जाती है, डिजाइन खराब हो जाता है. तो उसको अच्छी तरह से पहले टांगते हैं. फिर उसके बाद नीचे जो इसकी होती है आरी होती है. ये जो आउटलाइन दी गई है, ये आउटलाइन होती है, रेशम से भी होती है, तिल्ले से भी होती है. और उसके बाद फिर हम इस पे लगाते हैं कोरा, दबका, मोती, सितारे, जो चीजें लगानी होती है, जिसके साथ ये सारा प्यारा सा फिर लुक देता है बाद में. तो ये ब्राइडल ड्रेसेस भी हैं, पार्टी वेयर भी होते हैं. कुछ लोग इसको शादियों पे भी पहनते हैं, आम रूटीन में ईद पे भी पहन लेते हैं. तो इसका सारा प्रोसेस ये है. और इसी तरह ये गोटा वर्क जो है, ये हाथ से बनता है, फ्रेम पे लगता है. लकड़ी का वो भी होता है फ्रेम, फ्रेम पे इसको पहले बिल्कुल इसको भी वैसे टाइट किया जाता है और उसके साथ पेच होते हैं, पेच के साथ इसको अच्छे से टाइट करके फिर बनाया जाता है।
Very, very beautiful and very intricate and a lot of hard work that goes into this.
इस पे 3 डिफरेंट काम एक साथ हुए हैं। ये जो हुआ हुआ है ये एप्लिक है, ऑर्गेन्जा से इसकी एप्लिक की गई है। ये नीचे जो इसकी बेस है वो ऑर्गेन्जा ही है। ऑर्गेन्जा के ऊपर फिर ये जो दूसरा कलर का लगाया हुआ है ये भी ऑर्गेन्जा ही है। ये भी अलग से जो लगाया गया कपड़ा ये ऑर्गेन्जा का लगाया हुआ है, इसको एप्लिक वर्क भी कहते हैं। फिर इसके बाद सारा इस पे गोटा वर्क हुआ हुआ है, फिर उसके बाद इस पे अड्डा वर्क भी साथ में हुआ हुआ है। तो डिफरेंट वर्क एक साथ हुए हुए हैं इस पे ना।
Marshall, you want to repeat some of that as well, just so that we have a wee outline of what that process.
It's like she did a lot of fusion, so it's like RE, Ada work, and Rilly or applique work. So those are 3 embroideries she's combined into this one skirt frock. So that's what she's showcasing there.
This is also Ada work. ये भी खड़ा हुआ है।
It's very intricate and also very thin cloth. What is the cloth that is embroidered on?
This is on chiffon fabric.
It's on chiffon fabric, right? So we're really getting quite an overview of some of these intricate embroidery designs and the processes that you work with to produce such beautiful garments. And you said that it's a lot of bridal wear also. And how much of your work is customized and how much of it is designs that you make that people can buy off the shelf?
Some of dresses are customized and some designed by myself. Customized orders are more.
Are the customized orders more for the bridal wear or also for the daily, the daily wear and another evening dressing?
Bridal and national festivals like Eid, engagement functions, and other wedding functions. Bridal dresses are customized more.
And Iqra, just to ask you, I mean, how long did it take you to learn such beautiful embroidery? I mean, you're a very young woman. You said you're 23 years old. You've been influenced a lot by your female members of your family. Did you learn this from your mother, from your grandmother? Were you self-taught, or did you actually go somewhere to learn how to do this? Tell me a little bit about your process.
I learned by my mother. She is really hardworking woman. She knows all kind of embroidery work. I have seen them to doing work since my childhood. This is my hobby. मतलब जिस तरह कभी मेरा दिल करता है मैं उसके ऊपर डिजाइनिंग करने लग जाती हूँ। मतलब कभी पेंट कर लिया, कभी क्या कर लिया, ऐसे ही फैब्रिक उठाया। क्यों उनको देखती थी ना तो मुझे भी शौक होता था कि यार किस तरह से जल्दी जल्दी ये कर रही हैं। मुझे ये था कि हम क्यों ना इस तरह से स्टार्ट करें कि इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे भी लोग इसको पसंद करें, बाहर भी करें। क्योंकि घर में बस बनता था, खवातीन आती थी घर में ही देके चली जाती थी, तो उनके काम का ना ज्यादा लोगों को नहीं पता था। लेकिन जब फिर कारवान में गए, कारवान ने ये मौका दिया कि लोगों को भी पता चले हमारे काम का। और अब बहुत सारे ऐसे मेरे कस्टमर हैं जो डिफरेंट सिटीज से हैं, लाइक लाहौर, फैसलाबाद, इस्लामाबाद, वहां से ऑर्डर करते हैं और पसंद करते हैं हमारे काम को।
Thank you, Iqra, for sharing that. Marshall, I don't know if you want to, because it's a really important piece of information, if you also want to in any way translate that for the international audience.
She wanted, like, she was inspired by her mother. She learned a great deal of the craft from her mother, and then she also wanted to further inspire and mobilize her fellow members in the community as well. So she shared her learnings with them. So just tell the viewers a little bit, like, you're balancing 2 professions right now. You're also doing MPhil, but you're also doing hand embroidery products as well. So I want to learn more. I really want to study in abroad as well, collect money for go abroad. That's why I'm doing both of things.
And what is it you would like to do abroad? Still obviously linked to your business of what you've developed and created with the clothes?
To go abroad for my further studies and for expand my business. Because I am really passionate to my business, and I also want to study more. So that's why I'm doing both things together.
So you really have a passion for the two. And how do you balance that time? Do you find it challenging? Because the work that you do with your clothing, it's so intricate, it's very time consuming, it must take a lot of time, even with working with other women. And so how do you balance that time?
My work is my love. So whenever I work, I really love to work. And study is also my love. Both is very important to me.
I understand. And tell me this, Iqra, you're showing all of these beautiful clothes there. I would love to hear. You also live in Multan because you mentioned that you're based in Multan and you also sell in Multan, but you also sell in different places in Pakistan. You sell in the cities as well. So how do you sell? How do you go? How do you make the connections with customers?
In the start of my journey, only my friend ordered to my mother, and because I wear a lot of clothes like embroidery clothes, so everyone asked to me, where do you get this outfit? So I told them, my mother made this for me, my aunt made this for me, and ordered to my mother. But when I did exhibitions in Lahore 2 times in Emporium Mall on the behalf of Kaarvan, then I made a lot of links with people, and then people know about my work. I received a lot of orders.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. And how many women do you work with, and how many women have you managed to really bring into the business that you're doing?
There are a lot of women with work with me. For 20 to 40 women are working with me. They are really amazing and really hardworking women.
That's obviously over time as your demand got more and you got more orders, then you connected with other women. How did you connect with other women? How did you manage to connect with other women that could help you? Were you training some of them?
They have also so many skills because they are really amazing.
One of the things is like she also mentioned about market linkages. So a good thing about having this on, whether it's like online exhibition or in person like exhibitions, like it's an opportunity for rural entrepreneurs like Iqra to make market linkages. So they make connections like people like yourself and other buyers as well. So once they come across these buyers, they become kind of like brand loyalists. So if they really like Iqra's work and they're going to exchange numbers and then contact Iqra and other people like, oh, I really like this work and I want to buy it. So can you make this customized order for me? I like this color, this shirt, but I want it in pink, or I want it in black and pink. So they make these customized changes as per the customers say. And she has a whole group who she works with and who she like shares her skills with. And so I know for one thing, I wanted a purse or something for my sister-in-law, and she just reached out to her member like, oh, it's not my product, but I know one of my women members makes this, so like why don't I give you her purse as well. So it's like this is like when she knows her strength is in this bridal wear. And then
Yeah, no, thanks for explaining. So it's really building that network, and I guess Caravan Crafts Foundation was also instrumental in that, in helping with the building that network and how to expand and scale up your business. Would that be right, Michelle?
Yes, because I think one thing is like these women are very like talented and already have the like skills in there. What we do is just give them a platform to showcase their skills and kind of further their network, etc. So like this online exhibition is one such example of that. So it's basically they want to just reach out and connect with more people so they can further empower themselves and their family, but also their community as well. So it's about making those connections and creating like a collective community for this.
And Iqra, what are you showing me just now? This is some of the more simple clothing that is away from the evening wear and the bridal wear.
This is block printing.
And tell me about that process of how you block print.
I put fabric. ये एक ब्लॉक बना हुआ होता है जिसके पर कैमल बना होता है, कैमल प्रिंट किया होता है, उसको हमने फैब्रिक पे ना यूं करना होता है, लाइक जिस तरह से छापा नहीं करते हैं बचपन में यूं, उस तरह से, तो उस तरह से ये होता है। फिर उसके बाद इसको कलरिंग करते हैं।
And how do you make the block prints? How do you decide which print you want to do?
My sister doing block printing.
Wonderful. So really it's a family affair, isn't it? And tell me this, as an entrepreneur, how do you keep track of sort of which ones are the most popular, which ones are not so popular, and which ones you have to do, you know, different lines, you know, different designs of? Because I guess you really have to kind of be aware of what's fashionable, what's in.
Sorry, I can't understand.
Let me just like jump in a bit. Also, I'll just fill in the part for like block printing. Block printing is basically like a stamp, so you can choose the stamp that you want to do. So she chose a camel one for this one, but there's like also like silk screen printing, so you can do like layers of stamp printing, so you can have one that has like the whole outline, but then you can do different colorings of it. So this one was just like a simple motif one when she stamped like camels like different places on the shirt, but you can do like a more like extensive stenciling of that too. And what was the question regarding oh yeah, the trend, etc.
Yeah, how do you keep up with what the trends are and just decide which are the designs that are the most popular and which ones you just can't sell anymore, and you have to sort of, you know, what do you do with those ones that, you know, for example, aren't so popular, and how do you decide and keep up with those trends? Because you have to be really aware of what's also popular and fashionable.
I think what I've noticed just from being a fly on the wall and like observation of these women, it's like basically these like type of network events, like the exhibition, the sweater, it's kind of like a feedback loop for these women and get the direct feedback from the customer, in which they can see that like, okay, this coloring is good, but maybe these are too loud colors for me, so maybe more muted pastel colors would be more catering to the urban. So what I've noticed from these women, they create like a whole range in which like, okay, this one's for, I know my own community would like this one, I know like international community would like such more like pastel colors and less heavy embroidery, and this one's more like Pakistani urban city people would like this more. So I think it's like direct feedback from these things, because I know first time Iqra had her exhibition, she was like had a hard, she was like finding it a bit of a challenge selling her things. She's like, oh, I just need to reduce my hand embroidery work on these things, because the more embroidery work you do on the shirts, the more expensive it gets. So the less hand embroidery you have is like, it's like a bit more cheaper for the customer to buy as well. So I think this is all a direct feedback.
जब पहले सबसे पहले मैंने एग्जीबिशन की थी तो तब मैं बहुत ज्यादा परेशान थी और मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि एग्जीबिशन इस तरह से होती हैं, क्योंकि मेरा फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस था। सो नर्वसनेस तो थी ऑब्वियसली, लेकिन उसके अलावा भी मुझे इस तरह का आइडिया नहीं था क्योंकि कभी एग्जीबिशन की नहीं थी। बट जब मैं वहाँ गई, डिफरेंट स्टॉल्स थे, वहाँ पर बहुत सारे लोग आए हुए थे, बहुत सारी खवातीन थी और उनके मतलब वहाँ पर डिफरेंट हैंड क्राफ्ट था, देखने को बहुत सारी चीजें मिली जो मेरे लिए नई भी थी, जो मैंने सीखी भी वहाँ पर। और उसके अलावा मैं वहाँ पर मतलब अपनी कम्युनिटी के अकॉर्डिंग लेके गई थी, मुझे आइडिया नहीं था कि अच्छा इस तरह से लेके जाना है या इस तरह से कुछ है। बट दैट वाज बेस्ट एक्सपीरियंस फॉर माय लाइफ, क्योंकि मैंने उस एग्जीबिशन से बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी, अपने काम को बेहतर से बेहतर बनाया और मजीद बेहतर किया। क्योंकि और जब उसके बाद जब मैं दोबारा एग्जीबिशन पे गई तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बहुत अच्छी हुई थी और मेरे पास चीजें भी ज्यादा थी और मुझे आइडिया भी था कि वहाँ के लोगों को किस तरह का काम पसंद है। क्योंकि जो फर्स्ट एग्जीबिशन की थी तब मुझे पता चल गया था कि लोग इस तरह की चीजें पहनना पसंद करते हैं, यहाँ पर ये चीज पसंद ज्यादा की जाती है, इस तरह का अगर काम किया जाएगा तो ज्यादा पसंद किया जाएगा, लोग इसको ज्यादा अप्रिशिएट करेंगे। तो मैंने अपनी एग्जीबिशन से भी बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी और इसके अलावा जो हमारी कारवान के थ्रू ट्रेनिंग्स हुई कि आप अपने काम को किस तरह मजीद बेहतर बना सकते हैं, किस तरह से अपने काम को मतलब कि लोगों के लिए इस तरह बना सकते हैं कि लोग उसको देखते ही पसंद करें, अट्रैक्टिव कैसे आप बना सकते हैं। तो ये सब चीजें सीखने के बाद ही आप मेरा काम बहुत ज्यादा इम्प्रूव हुआ है और लोग इसको बहुत पसंद करने लगे हैं। क्योंकि पहले हमें ये होता है ना, हम अपने अकॉर्डिंग चल रहे होते हैं, हमें आइडिया नहीं होता कि लोग किस तरह से पसंद करते हैं, हम जस्ट अपनी जो हमें पसंद होता है हम बस वो करने लग जाते हैं। लेकिन जब हमें पता चल जाता है कि लोगों को इस तरह का काम पसंद है, फिर हम वैसा बनाते हैं, तो लोगों को डेफिनेटली पसंद आता है और फिर वो आपके काम को पसंद करते हैं और फिर लेते भी हैं।
So Masha, really thank you for sharing that, Iqra. I mean, this platform of Kaarvan Crafts Foundation is really instrumental to help develop women with skills to become micro-entrepreneurs with the branding, with the scaling up, with the marketing, with the business, the things that they have to consider. So this is really instrumental also in so many aspects for the networking and further developing for entrepreneurs is really what I'm gathering.
Yeah, I think it's just like we're like kind of bridging the gaps that we see, like whatever gaps there are in the community, because these women already know and they're very like street smart on the things that need to like make like overcoming challenges, and they're like have great resiliency. But just like whatever gaps that they have in their knowledge, we're kind of trying to bridge that with the market linkages, or also give them like pricing, costing ideas, like okay, like how to cost your materials, like okay, how much did the fabric cost, how much did the thread cost, and the work that you did with the women, so you can give equal pay, just not for yourself but for the women members that are working with you, so even everyone that's equally distributed, so just to how to divvy up the cost of one product, because a lot of women worked on this one article, it wasn't just herself.
So there's a real equality angle there, isn't it, that you work towards to give all women a kind of fair say and fair pay.
Yep, that's what we strive towards.
Absolutely, absolutely. Iqra, you want to say anything more there about some of the beautiful simple pieces? And you also do children's wear?
Yes, this
okay. Tell me more about your children's wear. In the children's wear, is it more simple embroidery, or do you also do children's wear for weddings and things? Do you do things that are also more heavy embroidery?
Yes, this is for children. ये अभी बना नहीं हुआ.
Ah, yes.
ये भी अड्डा वर्क की है, ये फ्रॉक बनेगा.
So that's the material before it gets designed into becoming a dress?
Yes.
Beautiful.
This is like the unstitched version. So I think when it's unstitched, you kind of have a lot of agency for the customers of how they want to, do they want to make it into a frock, or do they just want to make it like a simple kurta, something that I'm wearing right now? So the unstitched kind of gives a lot of agency to the customer if they want to make it into a cloak or just like a shirt piece, etc. So I think with the unstitched clothing, you have a lot of agency of like how the customer wants to design, they want to give it a more a modern cut or a traditional cut. So that's kind of gives you the agency. If that's all she's providing is like the hand embroidery cloth, and the customer can choose however they want to style it then.
That's good to know. And then some of these ready-made ones, that's a kind of ready-made collection for children as well as having the unstitched. Okay.
Yes.
And Iqra, did you always do children's wear, or is that something that you developed and you went into? Tell me more about that process of when you started to also design for children.
Now I started to design children dresses because customer demand for children, so that's why I decided to make children dresses as well.
Excellent. So you really are diversifying and really opening up all the different avenues within your business. That's amazing. And Iqra, tell me something else about yourself. I would love to know, as you're a young woman, but you're very experienced in what you're doing, you've grown up seeing this from your mother, your grandmother. What advice would you give other young women entrepreneurs, or young women who want to become entrepreneurs, that want to do a similar thing. What advice would you give from yourself and your experience?
I belong to a family where people don't like women work. But they always criticize to my mother because I have five siblings, four sisters and one brother. So everyone said to my mother, "Oh, you have four daughters. How could you manage this? How could you do this?" So uh, I feel very bad. So that at that time I was decided that I want to be a son of my parents, uh, and shown them that daughter are blessing of Allah Almighty, not a burden. So now, Alhamdulillah, I am the son of my parents, and my parents proud to have a children like me. मुझे भी लगता है कि लड़कियों को काम करना चाहिए। जो लोग कहते हैं ना कि नहीं करना चाहिए, नहीं लड़कियां ना करें काम, ये है वो है, तो इन लोगों को यही, क्योंकि ताने देने में तो यही सब लोग आगे होते हैं, कैसे करेगी मतलब फर्क लगते हैं ना कि बेटे होते तो ये काम करते, अब बेटियां हैं कैसे करेंगे, तुम कैसे संभालोगे, इनकी कैसे करोगे। अब वही लोग हैं जो मिसालें देते हैं कि उनकी बेटी को देखो वो कैसे ये काम कर रही है, तुम लोग भी कुछ सीखो कुछ करो। तो अब वही लोग हमारी तारीफें करते हैं, तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है। और मैं मैसेज देना चाहूंगी कि लड़कियों को कभी भी हार नहीं माननी चाहिए। अगर उनके पास स्किल्स है तो अपनी स्किल्स को हाइड ना करें, अपनी स्किल्स को शो करवाएं, अपनी स्किल्स बाहर ही निकालें और करके दिखाएं, क्योंकि लड़की सब कुछ कर सकती है।
That's a wonderful and very inspiring, I think, few things that you've said there, Iqra, especially this aspect of, you know, a woman can do anything, and some of the barriers that you faced, as you said, that the family was having criticism and you were feeling very low in your confidence, and how you've managed to build this up and having this network and support also from Kaarvan Crafts Foundation and from the online platform, that this has really helped you a lot. And not only that, Iqra, you've helped other women, you've empowered other women around you. So you're already that inspiration to women around you that you are also working together with, that it's really teamwork.
Yes, I inspired a lot of women, like my friends, my sisters. I always motivate them to do work, to push them. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. You are best.
That's wonderful, Iqra. And Mashal, you're sharing some slides here of Iqra's work.
This is her website, her brand DASTAK, which just means like knock. Things is like unlocking the doors of social opportunity through skills sharing. So that's what DASTAK basically means in Urdu, is like opening doors, opening opportunities. So this is her inspiring website. So she was first on Instagram, but then through this online exhibition, we kind of inspired everyone to create their own website, buy directly from Iqra on here. So if you like anything, you can just order it and add to cart. You have the thing, and we also have like a WhatsApp bubble here. So if you want to get something customized, you can basically connect with Iqra directly on WhatsApp. So these are some of the articles she was showing to you on her over there. You also see them on the website here. She's also very active on Instagram. So you can find her both on the website and some of her work on Instagram as well.
That's amazing. Taking a note of that while we speak. That's fabulous. So you really help all of these entrepreneurs to scale up, develop their brand, their business, their marketing, the online presence. And tell me this, with regards to the online presence, how easy is it to help the entrepreneurs in that online business aspect, so that when they get orders coming in, how to manage that whole process? Because that's also quite an extensive demand, I would say, on a business and on a team.
Right now, it's like we just do the initial part. Is like first when they've had their digital literacy. So like first of all, it's like using their smartphone to take product photographies of their hand embroidery products. and then further just guiding them like, okay, since this is not in person, so the customer will be assessing your products through the quality of your photographs. So your photographs have to be really like clear and capture all this is like getting like an overview shot, but then also like a detailed shot of your product, etc. So I think that's what we further first tell them, and then tell them it's like you just need to have like a one sentence snapshot that tells them like, okay, this is on organza material and it's like it's gota work. The customer kind of has this idea like, okay, what material is it on? What hand embroidery it is, so like someone can then make a sound decision of like, okay, I like this material because like organza and chiffon are kind of see-through materials, so not everybody likes those materials, so having a clearly delineated description kind of helps the customer make those sound choices.
And I see here on the website, like it also says like not to worry if this product gets out of stock. So there is this option that no matter which product it is, that it can always be obviously supplied again. So does Iqra ever have any exclusive lines where there's not the possibility to reorder at all, or is everything completely open that you can order again if something is run out?
दिक्कत उस सूरत में आती है जब आपके पास ना मटेरियल खत्म हो और मार्केट में भी ना हो, क्योंकि अक्सर ये होता है ना कि वहां पर भी स्टॉक आउट ऑफ स्टॉक हुई भी होती है कुछ मटेरियल्स। लाइक अब चेन होती है, जो चेन लगती है, ये वाली चेन ना यहाँ पर है शायद, चेन जो अड्डा वर्क में लगती है ना, मोस्टली वो आउट ऑफ स्टॉक हो जाती है, तो उसके लिए होती है, वरना मोस्टली ये होता है कि बन जाती हैं, कोई मसला नहीं होता है। क्योंकि टाइम अगर हम लेते हैं, अगर कस्टमर कहता है कि हमें सेम ड्रेसेस चाहिए, तो हम उनसे ये कहते हैं कि इतना टाइम लगेगा, इतने डेज लगेंगे, इसके बाद आप जितने भी ड्रेसेस सेम कहेंगे तो वो मिल जाएंगे।
Just saying that's lovely to share. Also, I was thinking, mashallah, Iqra, of course, in terms of material wastage, it's great to know that, excuse me, Iqra is moving into the children's wear, because when you have leftover materials and you can't do much with it, you're able to patchwork and put different materials together and create new things. So this also reduces the wastage of materials. What do you do with the materials that are left over? You're able to recycle and put them into other new designs?
Yes, these are used in other designs.
Excellent. So there's really this sort of sustainability aspect as well, Mashal, that it's really encouraging micro entrepreneurs to really reduce that wastage and to really create new designs to implement all these pieces into other pieces that they have. I wanted to ask Iqra, because I'm seeing a bit of a trend. I'm from the UK, living here in Europe, and I'm seeing also a trend of some people, when it's ready-made suits or suits that are made for specification for a wedding or for an evening event, that sometimes, women tend to wear these once or twice, and then they actually start to resell them. Is this something you would ever consider, having a line that is actually for resale, that women that want to bring back suits that are in good condition, that they can resell them again? We're seeing this quite a lot in the UK with some of the markets that are happening, some of the women's gatherings that they start to bring back and to raise funds for maybe charity. It's another option that I'm thinking of when I see your amazing work.
It's okay. I think I'll jump in over. So I think regarding climate change and sustainability, as a organization, we're working to make it much more part of our programs right now. So we've held like 2 or 3 workshops, but not too many. So I think they're one-off. So not everybody in the community is well versed on how to like upcycle and recycle waste over materials yet. But I think what they are being mindful of is like they make do with maximum utilization of resources. So if there's like some thread left over, or like a huge chunk of material they would recycle into other things. But I think the small patches are where we need to I think more on the sustainability side is also not just how they're upcycling right now, but also like how it's just not a one-off thing. It's like what we mentioned earlier. It's like since Iqra's empowering other women as well, like it's like a whole community that's working with her. So it's just like the whole community is rising up together. So I think that's what's the crucial thing here. So it's also that kind of also like mindful of the resources at a more for like a grassroots level. So that kind of I think helps the sustainability aspect as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think it's wonderful, as we said, that it's really, as you said, empowering the community, not just the women. You know, and also obviously educating and empowering a woman also really helps the family. You're also really, you know, as you say, being a role model within your family also, Iqra, with doing what you're doing now. Now your family sees the success. And, you know, as you said, you would have learned all of these things from your mother, your grandmother. They would have been more in the home environment. Whereas now you're doing this outside of the home environment. This is also, you know, being this role model and inspiring to other female family members.
Also the role model on the aspect of like the online exhibition, like people are much more in their comfort zone of doing conventional like selling of the things. So like Iqra and other women are also inspiring other people, like, okay, use the online digital space as an opportunity for income generation, and kind of being the role model in this space, because people like, oh, it takes great lengths to like first photograph your photographs in a marketable way and then uploading it on the website, like you said, is kind of labor intensive. So kind of getting into the space and having this like steep new learning curve. So all this is kind of showing other women in the community like, okay, this is another space that you can generate income for yourself and for their women members. So this is another untapped opportunity that we need to avail as well.
Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. Because overall, I mean, to summarize, it really is quite a journey that these of female empowerment from the family to then, you know, as I said, moving outside and inspiring other women, being a community-led sort of initiative here to really help drive a business forward, having and linking with Kaarvan Crafts Foundation and the online platform, and how much this has helped educate and scale up the business and the opportunities and economic opportunities for women, and also encouraging the whole, not just business aspect, but this, as you said, being aware of the sort of sustainability aspect, I think, which is really important, and also how to maintain and create a sustainable business, which is really what it's about, isn't it, for a woman?
Yeah, and I think also the notion of self-sufficiency. So once the like Iqra started to like earn for herself, etc., so she can like support herself, but also like family members. So if there's any like bad day comes in, there's so much uncertainty with climate change, with flooding, or any other unexpected thing, and so she can be another like offering assistance to her parents, etc. So it's like another incoming earning hand, and then also gives her the agency, like she said, to fulfill her dreams of going up abroad and studying, so she can be self-sufficient. Like, okay, this is my dream, and maybe if my father cannot support me because he's not earning enough, I want to have this like my own means of generating income, so I can continue this lifelong dream of like continue learning.
Absolutely, that's a wonderful note to probably conclude then. I don't know what you think, Michelle, if there's more to say, or Iqra, if you want to have a lasting word on this. I know we can't see you, but I really hope we can still hear you.
Yeah, I think Iqra's just facing some load shedding issues. So Thank you so much, Iqra and Rozina, for your time. We greatly appreciating you taking some time out of your hectic schedule and sharing, seeing Iqra's beautiful work and Rozina's insights on sustainability, climate change, and how to make more ethical business practices. So thank you so much for all these insights.
Thank you so much for having us.